people are misled on exactly what democracy is. It's fairly dangerous. There's not a whole lot of difference between democracy and mob rule. Here's what he wrote. Listen to this. Tell me what you think of this. Democracy stands as a cornerstone of modern governance, founded on principles of equality, participation, and representation. It empowers citizens to shape their collective destiny through voting and civic engagement, fostering accountability and inclusivity within societies. As a dynamic system, it evolves with societal needs, striving to balance diverse interests while upholding fundamental rights and freedoms. In its essence, democracy champions the voice of the people, ensuring governance that reflects and serves the aspirations of its citizens. So I had a real simple question, and I'll read it again. In its essence, diverse interests while upholding fundamental rights and freedoms. So I had a real simple question to him. How does a democracy uphold fundamental rights and freedoms? Because a democracy, people think of a democracy as like it's kind of sacred. People use that word like it's sacred. Mm-hmm. And, we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional representative republic. Mm-hmm. Now, the representatives are democratically elected, which seems redundant anyway. How else do you elect somebody? Of course it's democratically elected. But anyway, they're democratically elected. But we're not a democracy. A democracy is mob rule. If you get 50% plus one vote, you get to do whatever you want.
Right. So what did he say?
He didn't have an answer, frankly.
He probably blocked you.
No, he didn't block me. But he kind of went back and forth, and it was like, da. So and he kind of described a constitutional republic without saying the word constitution. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of clues in here, right? First off, just standing up this hard for democracy, I think is a clue as to where somebody stands politically. Principles of equality, participation, representation, diverse interests, a dynamic system. I don't think there's any system that I want to live under where the majority gets to decide what fundamental rights I do and don't have. Just the idea, by calling them fundamental rights suggests that they're objective.
Right.
You don't get a choice.
No, you don't get a choice.
You know what I mean? It's not like, well, this guy doesn't get the right to eat or breathe air.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which
sounds funny, but the Second Amendment is the right to self-defense.
That's right.
That's the right to breathe air.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. It's exactly what that is. So we went back and forth very respectfully, I think. Very respectfully. And I think
Did you convince him?
No, of course not. Nobody ever gets convinced on Facebook. But I think it was, I think there's just some confusion there. Like I said, there's this romantic version of like, well, democracy, we fight for democracy. Oh, it's democracy, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is, the whims of the mob, the only difference between a dictator and a democracy is the number of dictators.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's it. That's the